In this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how you're going to be able to create a workflow automation through n8n that reads your emails and then categorizes it like leads, billing, whatever. And for most businesses, this is really important because if you miss out on one email, it could be tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, depending on the job. So no more digging through your inbox. Everything is going to be where it should instantly. And don't worry if you are not technically inclined, this is a no code solution in order to do this. So just follow through the steps and you'll be able to have this in your business set up too. All right, so here's n8n. And if you're not familiar with it, this is a tool just like Zapier or make.com where you can set up an automation and have things running in the background. So the first step that we're going to use is we're going to use a node, a trigger node, because every automation needs a trigger, and this will be for an email, right? Because this will be the thing that's coming in. Now, what we want to click is on message received, okay? Now, from here, what we need to do is we need to set up our credentialing and authentication with that email service. Now, you can do this for Gmail, you can do this for Microsoft. It really doesn't matter. You just need to make sure that you're signing in. Right now, we're going to use Gmail. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to create a new credential right here. And the beauty of the integration with n8n Gmail, they already have it pretty seamlessly. So all you have to do is go to OAuth 2 and then sign into your Google account. And then you should get a box that pops up like this, and it should be green. This means you are signed in. Now, in order to stay organized, it's always best to have something beyond just the typical Gmail, just so you can find it instantly. Now, if this is your first setup for this, then you won't need to. But if you have a lot of different authentications and credentials set up like me, then you might need to categorize it better so you're not all over the place. I'll say digital wealth, right? So that's what I'll put there, and now I'll save it. All right, so now we're done. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that these are the poll times. This is going to be the amount of times that your agent is going to be checking to make sure that there's no important emails that are coming in. And if it is, that's when it's going to get categorized. Now, after that, you want to make sure that the event is put on message received. Now here, it's going to automatically put in or check the simplify section. Now, we don't want that. We actually want the raw data, because if you have it simplified and you test it right now, it's going to take away all that. We want to keep that stuff so we can actually put this into our next text classification node. So here we go. What we're going to do now that this is off is we are going to make sure that, we don't need any of these labels. We're just going to actually fetch and test the event, just to make sure that we have the data that we're looking for. Now, if you can look right here on the right-hand side, it says output, which is great. So we have the ID, we have the label nodes, we have the headers, mail, and all the raw data that we're looking to extract. So this is great. So this is the first step. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we're adding a text classifier agent. Okay, so this is going to be when all of the emails come in, you're going to be able to filter this way. But in this section right here, we're going to have to determine what we are going to want to filter, right? And what we're going to be able to sort through to identify what kind of email this is. So we're going to head down to header, and we're going to pop this up, and then we're going to go to text. All right, so we're going to grab this text, and then we're going to put it right here. This is dynamic, so that means any type of text that comes into the body copy or the body of your email is going to get pulled. All right, so this is good. This is exactly what we want. All right, so now that we have that, the next thing we have to do is we got to have our categories. With our categories, this is going to determine, right, and what emails we want to actually categorize. Pick some, I'd say 4 categories, just to make it easy so you can actually get a sense for what you can do with this and show the possibilities. So for most businesses, they have definitely new business that they want coming in, right? Like, no doubt about that. So we'll put new business over here as a label. and then we'll go to create. I don't like this pop-up. Let me see if I can fix it. All right, cool. So now we have new business, and we're going to give it a color as well, just so it's color coded. We'll put that as green because new business is money, money, money. All right. So the next thing we want to do is hiring, right? Recruitment, hiring, recruitment, adding new blood, a new lifeline to the business if you're growing, right? So we'll do recruitment. Let's do blue. And then what else? Invoices, right? Vendors, vendors, you owe money. Billing for clients who, I mean, they owe you money. Like, just this is all invoice, all money related stuff, and you can obviously segment that out to different categories. But I'm just gonna put invoice right now, just because it's for the video, and then we're gonna categorize that as red, right? Or could be green too, but we're just gonna put red. And then the next thing is promotions. Okay, so promos, we will add, I don't know, what do we see? Promos, we'll just do gray. All right, cool. So these are the 4 categories that we now have. And now we can go back to our workflow automation tool, n8n, and start building in these categories. So I believe the first thing we said was invoice, I guess, will be on top. Invoice, new business, promos. Okay, so invoice will go first, right there. And now the next thing we want to do is we want to grab a description of all things that could be triggered that would cause an invoice to come up, right? Like things that a vendor would say to you to let you know that it's an invoice. So I've already copied this. I made this section in ChatGPT, but if you want to create something like this, you just say something like you're an inbox management expert, and I've got 4 categories. You can say recruitment, invoice, new business, and promos. And then can you make a description for these categories and in it end to filter and tell the agent on how to accurately correlate this email with each label. And then on ChatGPT, it's going to give you a description so that you can kind of draw from, and then obviously from real world types of context, you'll be able to put that inside here. So I'm now going to add that into the description, label emails as invoice. And then also I'm going to add some trigger types of keywords that might pop up as well. So do this. Net terms 30. Balance owed. Statement of work. Wire instructions. All right. Okay, so this would be the description for here. And then we're just going to do it 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3. Now the next thing is description right here. And basically what I said here was, label emails as business if it appears by incoming inquiries from clients, collaborators, or leads asking for servicing, pricing, partnership quotes, and meetings. These are typically cold or warm messages from people interested in working with your company or buying from you. So let's add some trigger keywords as well. Let's do this. Looking to work with, requesting a quote. And I could just dump it in like this, but I just like things neat. So I'm just going to have it like that. Saw your website, saw your TikTok, wherever you're advertising from, right? Okay. And then we have category number 3. Now this would be promo. All right. So we got promo here. And then let's just put recruitment so I don't have to keep asking myself what's next. All right. So recruitment there. So for the promo section, I'm just dragging this from ChatGPT. So we'll do label emails for promotions in nature. All right, just so you can see it. Labels emails as promotion, as promo. This is for promotion in nature, includes email blasts, discount offers, sales pitches, affiliate programs, newsletters, and marketing. These usually come from marketing tools or individual sales rep trying to sell you something or advertise. I should have made that red, right? Because that's money going out. So we're going to add some trigger words as well. Limited time offer. right here. Will help your business. Special promotion. Try our platform. And this could always be a growing list. And clearly, this is just a list that I just created from scratch. Obviously, you're going to have a better understanding of what keywords are going to come up. So that will be for promos. And then the last one is for recruitment. So we'll grab that. Right. In the description, put it here. And as you can see, label emails recruitment if they include job applications, resumes, candidate introductions, outreach from recruiters or hiring platforms, i.e., Indeed, ZipRecruiter, or anything internal for hiring. These messages often mention job titles, interviews, position availables, and employment related terms. Okay. And again, we're going to put that in here. And those will be the keyword triggers. Bam. Apply now. All right, cool. And those would be it. All right, so here they are. Here are the 4 categories. We have them in our text classifier, and we also have them in our inbox inside of Gmail. Okay, so now what we have to do is, last thing is just we have to actually let the AI know what it's doing, right? So it has to create some kind of prompt, right, for that. So the system prompt: please clarify the text provided by the user into one of the following categories. Here are the categories right here, the 4, and use the provided format instructions below. Do not explain, only output is it's a JSON format, all right? So now what we're gonna do is we're just going to test it really quickly. Ooh, one thing we need to do, my bad. We actually need to make a GBT, an actual AI agent, right? Otherwise, it won't be able to do that. So let's pick a open AI chat model. I feel like everyone has at least Chat GBT. If you have Claude, or if you have another language learning model, you can add that here. And n8n has a ton of them that you can pick from. But we're just going to use Chat GBT because that's just the most recognizable model. So the next thing we have to do is we have to add our credentials. And all we'll need from here is just to include an API key. Now, if you don't have an API key, this won't work. So like if you have ChatGPT account, you're paying $20 a month, that's not going to cut it. You're actually going to need to pay for your own API key. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to platform.openai.com, and then that's going to take us to this section. And I'll leave that just down below so that you can go there instantly, because you do have to find it first. And then you're going to create a secret key. You're going to give it a name. We'll call it text categorizer. Text cat. All right. And then we just want to pick default project, and we have a secret key. That key is now created, and you want to copy. Also, if you've never done this before, it won't work just because you did that. You will need to go to your billing, and you need to add your billing details because it will charge you. But I mean, you can literally put $10 on here just to get started, and then it'll work for a very, very long time until you actually start creating a lot of automations. Well, then you'll start to need more of that. But I digress. So you put your API key in here, and then you give it a name. So we call it text class cat. All right, so it's called text categorizer. Now we save. Okay, so now you can pick the model that you want to work from. We'll do GPT 4.0 mini, but again, you can pick from any of the different models. You can do GPT-4, Turbo. It really depends what you want to. But GPT 4.0 is great for tasks and these types of activities. Okay, so now if we test this again, okay, that's great. So that means if you look up here, no data has been from here, but that's because we don't have these categories yet put up. But if you look onto the top for the actual output, we have all 4 categories. We have the invoice, we have new branch, we have promo branch, and then we have the recruitment branch. Now what we need to do in order to actually have this go and actually work is we need to pick more nodes, right? We need to pick more Gmail nodes so that it will actually run through. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have that plus sign, and then we're going to go to Gmail. And from Gmail, we held it here, and we're going to go to add label to message. All right. Now, from label to message, we want to make sure that this is actually connected. And the name that we chose was Digital Wealth. Okay. So that's the one that we started earlier on. So that means it's going to be connected. And then the next thing we want to do is the resources here. We're fine with this message. Label. We just keep this here. We can add label. We can keep it actually. It's fine. And then as far as message ID goes, we're going to actually pull this from the Google, the Gmail trigger that we initially triggered. And we're going to grab this ID and then we're going to put it right here. And that is going to be what we'll need to do. Now, before we actually select the title that we want to correlate this with, we want to make sure that we do this for the other. We're going to copy that and we're going to duplicate it. We're going to duplicate one more. We're going to duplicate 2 more times. Duplicate. And then we're going to do that. We're going to connect that. And then we're going to go to promos and connect that. And then we're going to go to recruitment. And we'll name these in a second. We're going to go to recruitment and we're going to connect that. All right, so none of them are connected just yet, but we're going to do that right now. Now that it is done, is we need to categorize it. So let's put promo here, right there. All right, so now promo is there. Actually, let's just do them for them all. So we'll name this here, promo. All right. And then we're going to rename. And then we're going to call this new business up here. New business. And then we're also going to label it here. And then we can just type in new business. So we're cooking with gas now, right? We already have what we need. Get rid of that. And then we'll do this. This one was called, this was invoice. All right, so let's fix that. Invoice. Invoice. All right. Promo. Promo. And then the last one is recruitment. Recruitment. And recruitment will be right here. All right. All right, so now they are all connected, and now we just have to fire off an email, and we're going to fire off all the emails, and then hopefully they'll all be categorized. So let's fire it off. Boost your conversion right there. Bam. That's 1. They're going to send that off. 2, 3, that. And this one is going to be recruitment related. All right, now. Only thing that we have to do to make sure it's working automatically is turn this from inactive to active. And when it lights green, just press got it, and it should be saved. Now, the other thing that you need to do is just make sure that it's on a minute, because that's important. Sometimes we might change the mode or whatever. So just make sure. If you don't want it every minute, you can definitely make those changes. But if you want it to have real time, the soonest that it will do is 1 minute. So let's just set it to that and keep it at that. Make sure it works. So now this automation should be running in the background automatically, hands-free. You don't have to do anything. Let's just go back to the email. Perfect. All right. So as you can see right here, the emails have been categorized properly based on the type of email automatically through AI. So the promos, business, new business, invoices, recruitment have all been attached and labeled here. And now all you have to do is when you're ready, just click on that. And then you can actually go, and find this and work through this solution or this problem or this invoice or whatever you're dealing with, and know that that has not been missed through the shuffle of all the emails you're getting. Because let's face it, anybody can get your email address at this day. So you're probably getting tons of spam, right? So this really will help you save time and actually generate the business that you need. And that's what it is. So that's the purpose of this. So really cool. So if you do want this automation right here, you could go to the link of the description in this video, and you'll have access to my school community and the whole like prompt and how I was able to create the description and the sample emails just for your own reference so you can make those changes will be there. If you're a business owner who's specifically looking for a customized automation, customized solution tailored to your business, whether it's sorting through emails, managing leads, or anything very specific that's going to free up your time, we design and build solutions that fit. So, you can also go to the link in the profile, book a call with me, and let's build you something great so you can get ahead with AI. That's it for this video. See you on the next one.